Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the second channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the NA monthly finals grand final, Pioneers versus STMN. I completely forgot there. So I haven't actually watched this. I watched the semi-finals, the quarterfinals, etc. But I thought for the very first time, well, I went to sleep pretty early just so I could react to this perfectly on a video. So we can see here, basically Pioneers, if you don't know, they were Juan Carlos team. We got Juan Carlos, we got second best, and we got Payne. Then of course Zar, Bobby, and Sans. Nearly forgot about Sans there somehow. So we can see straight away Draco and a Crow. Crow is, I don't know why they actually went Crow, to be honest. Crow for the anti-healing into Byron, perhaps. Surge is a pretty good brawler on a grassy map, but the problem is straight away, like they're probably trying to get Byron away from the Draco because that's such a good synergy. But we saw already, I'm pretty sure, who was it? It was a team that went Byron first pick on last stop, and it just got countered so easily. I think it was, who did they to face in the finals? It was literally Humble. That's it. Humble went Byron, and they could just get countered so easily because of the late pick. And then Max mid with Draco and a Crow. That is a fairly decent composition. I feel like Crow doesn't have the DPS into any of this, but at the same time, Crow's actually good at jumping onto Byron. That's probably why they went it, to be honest. That's my only thinking, right? And again, like just a Crow anti-heal. Max paired really well with Draco. I'm liking Stamina's comp more just because of the simple fact of Draco, but if second best can pop off on the Buzz is actually a pretty decent counter to Draco. Main reason being because you can stun lock him, and especially if you got the longer stun duration, it's going to be good. And if you can time it perfectly, you can actually cancel out Draco's super, so stopping to go into dragon form. And if Draco pops his gadget, it wastes a lot of his gadget duration, so then you can kill him a lot easier. So that's why Buzz is such a good counter to him, from what I've been realizing since watching the monthly finals. So in the middle, Byron's going to have a tough time against the likes of Max, because of course Max is just great into sharpshooters in general. So I was doing a great job for pressure, and they're doing a really good job of not allowing Surge to get any type of level up. But Surge needs to get onto the Draco ASAP. I know their matchup's probably looking like the one Surge on the Crow, or just Buzz not on the Crow, but Surge leads at least a level. So my get, there we go, he got his level finally. I was gonna say just send Surge on a Draco lane, and then if you wanted to, then put Surge on the Crow, but it just took him so long to get the right matchup or just any amount of pressure here, and it's just looking pretty bad for Pioneers. Second best gets a good stun, probably gets the kill there, nice. And then Byron can keep him topped up with heals. Here comes the Hypercharge, which the Hypercharge is just crazy strong with Buzz. It's going to be some easy shots from Byron onto the Draco. And then you've got the Malaise stop out, which is going to hurt Draco a lot. Stun goes in, but just can't kill Draco in time. And he can pop his gadget and stay alive, but that's a lot of pressure for KCP, and they're starting to get the gems themselves here. Another max speed. Juan Carlos is going to jump in here. A little bit of bad timing. I don't even know at that point. Second best going to go in here. That is an absolutely, that's just a goated play. That is an insane Buzz play right there. To do that so quickly, that was insane. Again, I'm back with the second best glazing, but there's a reason why I call this guy the best player at NA and I have for years, because that play was absolutely insane. Completely turned the tides in his favor. And that looked all but done for Pioneers there. So really impressive gameplay from Pioneers for sure. The problem is with Surge into Draco is that Draco has a 25% damage reduction shield. So it's not even like Surge can do anything into 11k HP plus whatever, an extra 2,000-3,000. I can't be bothered to do the maths. You know what I mean? You know, Draco has like 14k HP essentially in Dragon form, which is insane. And Surge can't deal with that even with the gadgets. So that's just why Surge doesn't really counter Draco that hard. But with the balance changes and the damage reduction going down to 15%, I think that could be an interesting interaction. But again, learn from the pros here. They are picking Buzz into Draco quite a lot, so of course that's going to be one of the best counters you can think of. Again, I still like Byron into Crow. The Crow's not the greatest against snipers, and Byron can just get some easy taps. I think Payne's going to wait for, the synergy there is what I'm talking about. These pros, like, you won't get the synergy in ranked, right? So you see what happens. Second best goes in for the stun, then Byron waits for the splash straight away to get double the value, the heal and the damage onto Sans. Nearly gets it again here, but Sans cycles into his super in time, just barely survives that. I don't know if he knew he was going to die there because he didn't pop his gadget preemptively. I guess he was just going to accept dying anyways, but all of the gems are going the way of stamina again. It's just the early control surge takes so long to get his levels, especially against the Crow, and they've just played it perfectly so far. Like, there's just nothing that KCP can do when a surge is at level 1. So I'm wondering if they're going to swap the strategy again. Surely they've just got to send surge on Draco lane just once, get him that level, and then he's just going to be okay. But it's just too much. There's just nothing that they can do. I wasn't even really watching the Surge versus Crow lane, because my guess is that Bobby just kept him chipped, stayed away. You know, Surge is a level 1, can't really do too much. Whilst Draco versus Buzz, like, Buzz does have a good matchup into Draco, but Draco can still win it. Still got a cheesy gadget. It's still Draco, still the best brawler in the game, right? So here we go. We're going to swap the lanes finally. Juan Carlos not going to actually run it in here. To be, I guess I understand why he's doing that. But at the same time, okay, good hook from second best. I was about to say, at the same time, like, Draco's eventually going to get super anyway. It's more important for you to get super. That's a really good play for Juan Carlos. Does manage to stay alive in time, but the super there was really risky from Sans, but it paid off. A great kill. Second best cleans up there. So far the control going the way of KCP. Bobby's already got his super though, especially charged from the Buzz. Of course, that's a good thing about Crow. Even if he dies, he's going to farm his super, and then he can just jump onto the gem carry if needed. That's going to be a good splash from Pain there, but Sans getting so much pressure with the speed. Does actually manage to get his super just in time, and he's going to be respawning without super. He's going to get infinite control, infinite speed. It is just so much pressure. Like, look at this. He's going to get stunned, but he's still going to do a lot of damage. Eventually goes down, but he's got his super again. It doesn't even matter. He cycles through it. He doesn't even care that Buzz kills him. He's still going to get another super. But actually swapping matchup here. Juan Carlos does have his max level, so it's looking really good for Pioneers so far. Good stun from seconds. Somehow Sans is still alive. I don't even know how he's alive. Bobby running through the middle, does manage to juke a few shots. A good slow. Juan Carlos has to use his gadget super to get away there. Bobby with the hypercharge can use it onto the Byron here. Does manage to get Byron down. Juan Carlos is really weak as well. Second best is dead, and that is just really good team play from Stamina there. I think that was really good awareness from Bobby. The fact that he knew if he goes in there, you know, second best is going down, gem carry down, Juan Carlos is weak. It was just a perfect play, and Stamina can just rob the gems and win this set. So that was a really intense game so far. Liking these Draco interactions. We're learning a lot, especially as a viewer, considering there's a lot of balance changes. You know, I was really scared about not learning too much, but I think these Draco interactions are really important. So Stamina win the first set. Let's hop into the second. All right, guys, jumping into the second set, we have New Horizons knockout. So in terms of the bans, we can see Cordelius is banned on the right. By the way, I'm sorry that my camera blocks this, but it's probably the best spot for it. Can be the bottom left, but no one looks at bottom left. You want to see my beautiful face at bottom right? Anyways, first pick, Kit. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of complaints about Kit right now in the meta, and I think he needs a bigger nerf than the one he's getting. He's pretty toxic. I'm even seeing Tensai on Twitter complaining about Kit and all of these brawlers. It's just too cheesy. It's just unskillful. I'm hoping with the balance changes and the hypercharge that the meta shifts a little bit away from Draco and Kit, but Draco's not receiving a big nerf at all, and he's still going to be broken, especially with the gadget. And then you've got Kit, who's still going to be insane in knockout and just insane with cheese compositions. Imagine Kit with the new brawler Berry and Frank. Like, that's it's over, guys. It's over. What can he even counter that comp? Like, anyways, Lou. So they're really trying to hard counter this Draco. Is this what it takes to take down Draco? Max Draco, what do you even go into this? Kit Melody is a really good composition. Lou is really good. We could go with a Shelly perhaps, but that's not the best into Lou. I have no idea. These drafts have been so messy this month, and I thought the meta was pretty balanced. But every single monthly final I've watched, it's just been horrendous, like really bad. Okay, Charlie, yeah, why didn't I think of Charlie? Charlie's a great option into this, but the only problem is, so I feel like the Charlie nerf actually is felt a lot more than the pros realize. I mean, she's been used less in monthly finals, but the additional, I think it takes like 7 hits to get super now. It can be felt. You know, for example, you would probably rather go like a Shelly or another brawler that cycles with a super quicker to shut down a tank right now, Cordelius, etc. So in terms of the comps, I'm not completely sold on Baloo. I can see why they did it though, because you probably need that big of a counter that they had to go a brawler like Lou. But it's just wild to see. But this is just how broken Draco is, clearly. So Bobby's actually being really aggressive here, already getting his super. He's going to jump. I mean, the good thing about Kit is with good team coordination, you can literally just jump on someone aggressively if you're a good Kit. Or you can just, of course, just get carried by jumping onto the aggressive brawler. So pretty interesting here. I guess they're just trying to keep the positioning for as long as possible. They've got him cornered for now. Bobby's going to jump onto Pain. Should be able to get the 1v1 kill, but doesn't actually get the kill in time. That is really unfortunate. That was actually a good heads-up play. I think that he was thinking himself that Zar could get the angle to help him and kill him pretty quickly, but he was just in a bad angle, so he couldn't actually get the kill in time. Sans tries to go in, still gets his super in time, so it's not really the worst. Second already has hypercharge available. That was kind of wild. I didn't realize he hit that many shots already with Charlie. They've got a max speed, they've got a Draco super. This is looking pretty rough. Melody, I mean, Luda does have the DPS, but Kit and Melody don't have DPS, so if they can run it down at the right time, and it's pretty much over. So it's this awkward kind of interaction here. We have we have Juan Carlos and Pain just sitting there, not wanting to feed the Lou, but now here we go. Kit goes with Melody here. They're trying to smell a little bit of blood here. My guess is that, I mean, both players are going to wait for the enemy super to expire, right? Like, they're waiting for Kit's super to expire. Stamina are waiting for Draco's super to expire. That's probably like the only way you can counter those brawlers. You get what I mean? So a bit of an interesting back and forth here. Second best does have his hypercharge super though. Zar isn't even able to get a super, so I'm not really convinced by the Lou just yet. But once the gas closes in, Lou probably actually would be pretty good. Bobby does have his super here, just waiting for the right moment. Lou's super in the right spot. This stops a lot of the aggression. Good super from second best though. Looks like Bobby's going to go in with Melody here. There's going to be a lot of damage. It's going to go really close, and it's just unkillable with Kit and Melody. That's just boring to watch when you think about it. Like, Kit is a cheesy brawler. We need some bigger nerfs. I'm going to have to get on the phone to Adrian. Like, come on, do you see this Kit brawler? Like, this is just way too cheesy, way too broken. There's nothing you can do against it. Please nerf. Thank you. Alright, so we have a hypercharged Lou super now, which is going to be devastating, especially in the early stages. So I think, again, Stamina are just happy for the clock to run down. They probably know that later game, they have what it takes to win the game with a Lou hypercharge. Looks like they're going to go with a max trick here. It's going to cycle all of their supers, but nothing really else. Don't know what to really think about that. Again, they've got to try and make a play, but they can't really push into a Lou with a hypercharged super. You know, my thinking is trying to split up. Like, if I was them, I just can't really split up because Kit can jump on them. It's a tough situation. I don't know what I'll do. So here's the last scenario here. That's a great super onto the Lou, but there's just so much going down. Bobby and Sans, they're just flying about like crazy. Bobby versus Juan Carlos 1v1. I don't know what's going to happen. Actually, Juan Carlos is just going to easily die. He's got no gadgets left. I thought he had a gadget left, but there's just so much going on. There's just Melody dashing around everywhere, getting infinite supers with Kit just healing. I kind of want this set to be over with. It's hurting my eyes. This is what competitive came down to. I mean, you can't fault the pros for going the meta, right? It's not a nice meta to take a look at. Like, I think this has got to be the worst knockout meta since hypercharges got basically added to the game. Hypercharges like broke the game for a good like 4 or 5 more, I think maybe even longer, until we got that duration nerf. I think this is like the worst one since that in terms of just brain dead nonsense. And here's me thinking the better's balanced. Anyways, so in terms of what Pioneers can really do, I honestly don't know what they do, because if they split up, then Kit can get an easy kill in a 1v1 with a jump. If they group up, Lou's going to get a lot of value. This has got to be something that Stamina practice. Like, who goes Lou in knockout, right? It's some big brain stuff, though. I'm liking the the one thing I love about NA and watching it specifically, especially in comparison to EU, is that they're not afraid to just go wild things, and it will work so much. It's one thing EU just don't do too often, maybe sometimes a little bit too wild, but this is just a good example of how Lou actually is pretty good in knockout by the looks of things. The final circle, and I just jinxed it, I think. Okay, maybe I didn't. Oh, Kit is so good in a 1v1. I mean, Bobby is good, but Kit is so good at the final circle. And STMN are now just one round away from 2-0 up against Pioneers. Again, I didn't even like highlight how close NA is this year, by the way. It's just such good viewing. If you take a look at the leaderboard, it is just so incredibly close. Literally every single game matters, which is crazy. I mean, second best, I don't know what second best is doing. I guess he knows that this is pretty much over. This is just a clear out draft. It's just crazy considering they had last pick as well. Yeah, it's gonna be pain going down. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the second you split up, Kit jumps on you, Melody sweeps in. It's just such a crazy combo. To be honest, I don't really know why ProSense just ban out Kit. Like, you think you can counter it? It's just quite clear that you really can't. We're going Charlie, we're going all of these different counter options, and we just can't seem to counter it. So I'm looking at the bans to try and understand how it kind of went about. I mean, second best is just Protector, and he's just gonna, yeah, he's just gonna let them kill them. So what I was thinking is that they banned Cordelius because they wanted to go Kit, and they went Kit first pick for that reason, because they know surely with their drafting skills that nothing else is going to be able to counter Kit compositions. So that is going to be the second set going the way of STMN. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into set number 3, we have Sneaky Fields Brawl. So in terms of the bans, the right bottom one is Amber. Amber's just a pretty good brawler, 2-3. I pretty much ban Amber all the time in ranked, especially if they have 2-3. Draco and Max are banned as well. Angelo first pick on Sneaky Fields is pretty interesting. I've been seeing a lot less Angelo in competitive now, maybe because of the run and gun style that the meta has. I mean, the competitive map pool is a little bit different to the one we have in ranked right now, but the reason why Run and Gun is so good is just all these bushy maps. It's just tailor-made to all of his tanks and aggression. So you can see Juan Carlos literally going Shelly. Shelly's just insane in the Brawl meta right now with the bushes. People have been underrating her a lot. I'm seeing Shelly used a lot in EU as well. It's actually one of the most played brawlers in EU scrims, just going to show how strong Shelly is. We see a Jessie as well. Jessie is decent into Angelo. You can waste a lot of Angelo ammo, and just overall Jessie's just going to be better, I believe, in the mid on a map like Sneaky Field, especially with the vision game, whatever else. So starting going Griff here. Interesting. Griff probably used to counter Jessie's turrets, break open a wall, give Angelo the range. It's a good synergy for sure. In terms of their 5th pick here, probably going to be something with range as well, I would imagine. I'm not too sure what they can actually go though. There's just so many options. But 15 seconds left. They can't really go tanks into Shelly. They're not going to, yeah, Cordelius into Shelly. I've seen this again in Sneaky Fields before. Cordelius will win the Shelly lane pretty easily. You've got Griff into Shelly as well, which isn't the worst. So it's down to this last bit. You can't go tanks into this. But the problem is, it's a hard position to be in. You can't, would probably go Buster, Loki. Loki, I would go Buster. I know the map's going to get opened up, but Buster's a good counter to Cordelius. Can be... Bro, I actually called that for once. I actually called that. I legit haven't watched this, by the way, at all, any games. I was just thinking in my head, like, STMN are kind of cooking with the draft. They're opening up the map. They've got tank counters, so it's hard to pick up a counter. But I think Buster has a perfect one. The reason why I think he's so good is because Griff with his main attack, you know, Buster can rip through that with the super. And I always know for sure that Buster counters Cordelius, especially in the Shadow Realm. There's hardly any brawlers that Cordelius struggles with in the Shadow Realm, but I know for a fact Buster is the one. Because I know myself, playing lots of hot zone games and ranked, I just can't seem to beat Buster when I put him in a 1v1. So, and of course, there's a bushy map, so Buster's going to be good. And Buster's just really good in meta now, easily 80. The gadget is just really strong. Second best actually misses that one though. But if the map opens up the way that Griff wants, it might be a bit of a long game. I wonder if Zar's going to use extra gadget. If I was Zar, I would definitely be using full wall breaks with Griff, because that's the reason why I use Griff, right? Really good play from Pain, and second best so far, and that's going to be the goal. And the early goal that KCP definitely needed this game, because the longer they leave it, the more the map's going to open up. They needed an early goal against this composition. So Zar with another wall break here. Not too sure if he has another gadget. Sans in a 1v1 versus Pain. Probably got a little bit too aggressive there, but a good pinch from Pioneers for sure. Bobby with the super, it's going to keep him alive. Of course, Angelo just done broken. I'm pretty certain Zar is using the extra gadget gear. Does have another wall break. We'll probably choose to decide it to break open maybe the right. Maybe this bit here. Yeah, okay. He's going to break open that grass and the wall. That's a perfect wall break. Okay, he's got 4 really good wall breaks. And now the control. The problem is they haven't got a wall break to break through and score. Unlike Shelly, she can just get that through her super. Second best going to pass the ball over to the right. Here comes the Cordelia's Shadow Realm jump. And he still loses in the Shadow. Oh, Bobby just misses that. That was so close. Like, some people might think somehow that's a throw. That's just unlucky. That was a really good quick heads up play. Just misses out. But yeah, you see what I'm talking about. Shadow Realm. Hypercharge. Buster still wins the 1v1. That is absolutely insane. So 40 seconds left. I think if Pioneers can keep this up, they should be able to hold on, especially with the respawn cycling. There's just always been a trick in competitive, especially in Brawl. If you can consistently, you know, have someone to die, you know, those 2 players, they stay up, and then the next person dies. You get what I mean? There's always like a person respawning. So they have that invincibility bubble, and they can always keep up a good defense, especially if the ball's pocketed on a map like Sneaky Fields. It's pretty hard. Look, especially in the corner with a wall. There's nothing that Stamina can really do here. Sam's going to go for the Shadow Realm into second best. There's not much they can really do. Another gadget from Pain, Hypercharge as well. Gets a double kill. Trying to get the triple. And that's going to be Pioneers finally biting back a little bit here. But again, I really like their composition, but it is literally all down to whether they can score within the first, I don't know, minute 30 I'll give them. Because again, the longer the game goes on, the better it's going to be with Angelo and whatever else. But this is just like a key weakness to Angelo, is the fact that, I don't know, it's just aggression, Brawl. It's just never been Angelo's cup of tea. There's always room to counter him in that sense. So, second best versus Sans. Sans does put him in the Shadow Realm. I guess it's an easy Shadow Realm, but at the same time, it's just really difficult to get a kill here. Pain goes for the 1 versus 2. Nearly manages to score there, which is insane. Good pull from second best. Probably going to be able to pass this over to Juan Carlos here. Super kick over, which is a really good pass. And Juan Carlos slots that home. That is such a good play. That was crazy. That was crazy. I felt like they could have just missed out on that, but they managed to get it in the end. Bobby goes for that angle. Second best reads it though. Misses a gadget, puts the ball straight into the corner, and now this is where Stamina are going to really struggle. Okay, that's definitely a better wall break from Zar now. You can tell that they've really struggled, especially once they will go down, to break open the defense. So why not just break open that wall and give them more chances to break open? So second best is going to manage to get a pull there. Does manage to get the kill onto Bobby as well. Supers, probably a little bit of a waste, but I can see the idea. I don't know how that actually managed to get around his super. But now all control going for Stamina here. They're going to wait for Bobby to come up the map. That is pretty good play, in my opinion. You don't want to just rush in and just lose your advantage, especially your map control. Sans going to jump in here with his hypercharge. He's going to get a kill. Juan Carlos with the hypercharge turret, which saves him so badly. That was such an important hypercharge turret. Without it, I feel like Stamina really sensed blood there, and they were probably going to get the ball and score. So another super from Bobby here. Second best getting chipped down. What they need to do is they just need to get a couple of kills. They need to get 2 kills in unison, so then they can properly break open the defenses here. I mean, it's just constant trade for trade. It's looking good when Sans jumps in, and then like Zar gets picked apart because Griff is just terrible. I don't know how you guys don't see it, but he's just terrible. And then when Sans ends up getting the 1v1 kill, he's going to get out of the Shadow Realm, and he's just an easy kill because he's pretty weak. But 20 seconds left. They've still got a little bit of a chance here. Shadow Realm again from Sans. Going to manage to juke out Jesse. Actually, it's... Oh, Juan Carlos gets 3 taps onto him in a Shadow Realm. Okay. I was about to say, should be a somewhat comfortable matchup with Jesse in the shadow round, but I guess you've got to force yourself into that corner, right? Because that's where the ball is. That was some beautiful play from Pioneers. 2-1. Maybe they can come back with a reverse sweep here. Let's jump into the next one. Guys, jumping into set number 4. It looks like there was no draft. I was just waiting around, and then all of a sudden, the game just popped up. So let's jump into it then. Hopefully the bans pop up though later on. I'd really like to take a look into that. So Sans, the early gadget, we'll say straight away, 8-bit actually is somehow underrated in the Heist meta right now. Looking pretty good. But I do see a Chuck. How has Chuck wiggled its way into the draft? My guess is we're going to try and counter it with the Cordelius. And then, of course, with Jesse and 8-bit, beat it in a damage race. But it's still Chuck at the end of the day. Chuck is Chuck. He's going to get infinite pressure. And as long as his teammates can follow up every single time he goes in, like they are tapping like crazy, it's just going to result in a lot of damage. So Pain's just doing a good job of being a pain and just getting in the corner and making sure the stamina have to constantly pinch out. Second best gets a good mark onto Zohe. A couple of good taps onto Jesse as well. Stan's going to get another gadget onto the safe, but Juan Carlos going to go straight in, runs the train through Bobby. You love to see it. And that's going to be everyone going down. So again, Pain's going to get into the pocket. Juan Carlos going to get another super onto the safe. Looking pretty bad for stamina right now, but actually no, here's a Jesse hypercharged turret. We're trying to get the pinch onto Pain because he's just being annoying in the backside. Got Juan Carlos going in again here, 20% left. It's going to need some big defense. I'm not too sure where the Jesse turret went. I think it died pretty quickly. I just didn't see it. I don't know if he used it onto try and get a kill, but here comes Juan Carlos again with another super. Just get put into the shadow realm, but it's not much they can really do. Bell's just going to follow up. So again, it's Chuck, right? Well, I just wonder how the draft went. So I'm trying to think at the top of my head. Maybe they went, I don't know, like Chuck first pick, but then they got called. Like, why would they then go Charlie into a Jesse? I don't know how the draft actually went. That'll be interesting. Maybe like a Bell. Trying to think in my head. Maybe Bell first pick, and then they went like, no, I don't know. Bell would be used to counter Jesse though, right? I'm guessing like Chuck and then Cordelius 8-bit, and then no, that still won't make sense. I don't know. Like surely. I just don't know how the draft went. Anyways, enough waffling. Let's go here. So Juan Carlos actually gets the post into a better position now. The thing that I've learned is that you actually want the post a little bit further back from the safe. So then if you get in the right spot, you can go through the safe again and then return on the way back. That is the best way to do it. I see all the pros utilizing it really well. So Zol's just going to go in a safe, make it a base race. Cordelius does actually do a lot of damage, especially with the combo shroom star power, but they're just leaving Zara a lot of the time. Juan Carlos about to get another super. Bobby's going to go down, and this is looking pretty much GG. Second best, a few more chip shots onto the safe. A good shot onto Sans. Hypercharge. Oh, bro, he's so good on the Bell. Like, holy glaze. I'll just continue glazing him if he's this good at the game. And now it's going to be 2-2. Going into reverse sweep, that is some clean gameplay. They didn't even get stabbed or a chance. They were just all over him with that. I was really interested to see how the draft went, because clearly there was something in the draft which influenced that game a lot. But that's going to be set number 4. Let's hop into set 5. Right, guys, now jumping into set number 5, we have Shooting Star. Again, no better way, right, to just have a pure 1v1 fight. So again, I'm not really seeing Nani too much in the draft. This just goes to show, in my opinion, just how the meta definitely is a lot different in ranked. And just overall, the pros like to go super aggressive combinations, but they go with an 8-bit. So my guess they're going to go a Mandy or a Nani themselves here. This is a really good combination. We're going to go with a Tick or a Thrower. I think Tick probably is the best one to pair with it. And then they can just go like a Sniper last bit. They go with Nani. Okay, here's me talking about no Nani, but Nani's good into Byron. 8-bit is just really good on Shooting Star. The reason why people go 8-bit is because once you get the lead, you just put your turret really defensively, and then they have to push into an 8-bit with boosted booster. It's just pretty hard to deal with. So they're going to go with Draco here on Shooting Star. That is pretty wild, especially into an 8-bit that already just deals so much damage. And then they're going to go with a Charlie. So I was expecting a Kit there. Is Kit banned? No, Kit isn't banned. So they're going to go with Charlie, trying to counter their counter. And they're going to go with Amber. Okay, Amber's like a good counter to Charlie in a 1v1. I don't know if Amber has enough ammo to take down Draco, but I guess it's decent. The good thing about Amber as well is that it'll pierce through Draco and hit Byron if he is pocket healing him. But this is an interesting draft. I just don't know how this is going to play out. I just don't imagine Draco being that good, especially on shooting star, and especially against 8-bit, but we'll see. Obviously, this is something that teams are prepared for. If they're going Amber and shooting star, they've got to be prepared for it. So we already get a splash onto Sans there. They get the kill onto Charlie though, so now the lead is going the way of Pioneers. And again, once they get this 8-bit turret down, well, Juan Carlos is using default 8-bit. It's hurting my eyes right now. But anyways, Natty with the booster is just insane. Should be able to one-shot the Byron. Should be able to pretty much two-shot the Charlie. Even the Draco as well. So he's going to hold on to the super here because he knows... Actually, no, he's not going to hold on to it. He's going to go for... Can't really go for Charlie. We'll go for the Byron, though. Doesn't actually loop around quickly enough, though. If I don't know, you got to be quick because Charlie's pushing. But I think he should have just circled around first and then gone straight for the Byron, and he would have actually got a kill a lot easier. Doesn't really matter too much. There the pros, right? Why am I waffling? I'm just a wash pro player. What do I even know about the game, right? What do I know? But anyways... Ping going to get a really good super onto the Byron here. Bobby probably just barely stays alive. So again, going down. Does seem to get picked off a lot, but I guess he is a Charlie. He hasn't got the range anymore to kind of push. And to be honest, like, again, look, this is actually really deadly combo when you think about it. Here comes Nani as well. Nani inside of a boosted booster is going to deal a lot more damage with super. Still got a few more seconds. Actually, he hasn't got any more seconds. But yeah, I think he can one-shot the Charlie as well around like 6 or 7 seconds from that booster star power. This used to be like a really, really disgusting strategy back in the day, especially with Nani, when Nani used to... I forgot what the change was. Anyways, 3 stars left. San's going to go in here. Does manage to get another super and play his gadget at the right time. 1 star in it, and they just can't get it in time. That it was a super, super close ending. The strategy that I was thinking of, by the way, I just remembered it. It was a Nani, Bow, 8-bit like combo. It was just so deadly. There was other variations of it. But just going back to then, like, because Nani people just deal so much damage with the 8-bit, and obviously they haven't forgot about that strategy, and that's just experience going to show. So now Stamina are 1 game away from getting reverse swept here. It's definitely something they don't want, because at the moment, they're just barely on the grasp of even an LCQ spot, which is disastrous for a team like Stamina, literally becoming 2nd in the World Finals. That just goes to show the level of NA this year, though, to be fair. That's an unfortunate knockback there because he misses his super. But again, Stamina get the first star pretty easily, but there's very limited range on the side of Stamina. Like, Charlie's not really doing anything because she's got no range and she's just not as good as she used to be. We've got Sans, who hasn't got his super. Yeah, so I don't know how this is going to play out. I guess they're just going to wait. They're going to put Sans on fire. They're actually going for the pinch here, but there's just nothing they can do. Bobby's just in a perfect spot. They're going to go for the wall break, which is really good from Second, to be honest. That was a good call out. Juan Carlos can just focus the Byron. Zar's going to go down as well. Bro, 8-bit is still just so good. Like, oh, and the full clip onto Zar. Holy. Now, what are you going to do into this? What are you actually going to do into this? So he's going to go with another circle around here. Going to go for Bobby and get the kill. This is looking like GG. I just straight got... another... That's just over. I think Stamina know at this point. There's a wasted super as well. And there's just nothing you can do into it. It's literally using Stamina's... one of their favorite compositions to go on bounty, knockout, whatever, with 8-bit. They're using it against them. Like, what can they do? If they can't do anything, they know it's over. I think it's just a complete outdraft. And that's pretty much GG's at that point, surely. That's a reverse sweep that's going to happen. Bobby even gives up. I mean, that is fair play to Pioneers, to be honest. A reverse sweep. And they've already won 2 out of the 4 monthly finals this year, which is crazy. We had Tribe winning 1 as well. And then we had Motomomes winning 1. So I don't think Stamina or Luminosity have won a monthly final yet. Again, it just goes to show the level on. And did I just play a love heart emoji? That was wild. Yeah, that's just... it's unfortunate for Stamina. Unfortunately, with the meta, a lot of it does come down to draft. I'm not just saying it to save face for of course, Bob being a good friend. It does come down to draft, and if you make a mistake in draft or something doesn't go your way, it can pretty much be it. So I feel really bad. It shouldn't be showing him. Right, I forgot to end off the video, but that's going to be it for today's video. It's going to be a really... I don't even know. Like, I can't comprehend how close this region is. There's just only a few points between LCQ spots and everything else. Everything is on the line this year for NA, and boy, I might even do a watch party for the NA monthly finals because of how intense it's going to be, bro. Right, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.